Now you'll think like, well, Baleful's better, so why even make a video about it? Well, I'm Pearl, so there's always a reason. I will explain to you when to go Baleful and when to go Seraph. Starting off Baleful. Play with this weapon if you want to play fire as your main spec and do not want to play wind at all. In this case, Seraph provides no benefit whatsoever. The other use for Baleful is if you don't intend to progress too much in the game, so basically use it for an alt. Or in other words, you do not intend to push it beyond plus 12. Or to be more exact, you do not intend to gear it with the VT badges and on win spec. In that case, you go Baleful. Now for Seraph, you go Seraph only if you intend to main KFM Wind and you intend to push it to max gear. In other words, go VT badges and whatnot. Now, you clearly want to know why you cannot play Baleful and go Wind main and play up to VT badge, and I will say that you can, but you kinda need to play KFM the hard way, passing through all the stages. What stages, you ask? Well, since you level up, you have spells that come and go, like basically come in, and home spells that come in, gear progression that comes in, badges that change the way you actually play. KFM is difficult not because of timers, reactions, cooldown management, and all that. No. It's not why KFM is actually hard. KFM is hard because you end up starting with one path, changing your entire playstyle based on the gear progression. In other words, as soon as you get a new piece of gear, you change your playstyle. It's unfortunately true, but when KFM changes playstyle and the way he plays, I mean, you as a player, you change your own way of playing, basically your muscle memory, every single time you acquire a new gear piece. And that can be frustrating and a chore to actually relearn to play the class. Now, your basic stages would start off like your actual first cancel is your 1R cancel. So you cancel your blocks. Now, after that, you have your 2R cancels, basically your 2R rotations. After that, you learn your Fs, making you go into a R2RF combination. After that, you end up with Searing Palm, and then you have 2RF combinations. After that, you might end up having Home Moon R, so you try to get 100% crit rate and you do your RF combinations. Then you go and get maybe your Hong Moon 4 for increased damage, but it's not needed here for like the discussion of rotations. But still, you end up going with blue buff and Searing Palm active, and you go into a 4R4F combination. After that, you might end up having the Sky Rift badge, being able to do the 4RF rotation more fluidly, not requiring a 100% crit rates, and being able to play around it. After that, you can go into the VT rotation. That would be your FR rotations. Now, this might sound complicated and there are more rotations, but these are your F rotations, so technically your damage dealing rotations. I'm not gonna go into mini rotations or filler rotations or block rotations or CC rotations and stuff like that, because those are like gimmicks and just fillers. I just call them fillers because they are not your main source of DPS like these are. Now, why is Seraph better than Baleful when you think on the long run? If you play Seraph having cooldowns on your X, on your blue X, and you go into not the Magnum badge, as everyone will tell you, but you go into the Holy Fire badge that would proc F for 6 seconds after your X cast, you end up having a more fluid, faster, and more reactive RF rotation, considering at stage 9, like the cheapest, highest stage that you can go into, talking about alts or just starting, On stage 9, you have 60% cooldown on a 12-second spell. That means your spell would be around math 4.8. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but it should be 4.8. I don't remember right now. The idea behind it is you have a 6-second active effect and a 4.8-second spell cooldown. Now technically you have infinite F active as long as you have a target in front of you. Like if you have the legendary bracelet, then your active buff on the bracelet is triggered by you having Searing Palm active. Now if you go Magnum Badge, as everyone will tell you, go Baleful with Magnum Badge, that just resets your X, making you able to maintain stages more easily. But unfortunately, sorry for the language, but that fucks you up big time. Why? Because you end up playing in the super end game, playing with the new Ancestral Badge. That is your V reset after a tab, proccing stage 4 Searing Palm and resetting your X, okay? And Aransu Badge, that will proc F on top of another F, so basically your F resets an F, basically making you do the exact same thing that the Holy Fire Badge does, making you able to do the rotation constantly. Now, you do not have right mouse button anymore. You are used to pressing it. You do not have resets on your X, you're used to pressing that. Your rotation would be more likely combination, right mouse button X, X, combination, right mouse button X, X, making you stack. You would avoid using your blue 4. You would avoid sitting too long in animations. That's what you get if you play Baleful plus Magnum Badge. Now, once you get out of that and end up in the Illuvian stage and end up in the V reset stage, making you technically do much more damage because that is best in slot, you end up having difficulties moving away from the Magnum Badge. You have difficulties learning again how to do your rotations, how to manage your X. Why am I saying this? Because you're so used to resets that you don't care anymore. You don't watch cooldowns anymore. You're not used to it because you played for so long with the Magnum Badge that you just don't care anymore. People call it the easy way, but it's not, because you will end up facing a wall, technically not gaining damage but losing damage while you progress in your gear. You might end up playing Magnum Badge even though you have the better badges available. Like, even though having better badges available, you still end up playing the Magnum Badge because you're so used to playing it like that. If you play Seraph, and if you play Seraph with the Holy Fire Badge, you will end up learning to stack your X. You will end up perfecting the RF rotation, the exact same rotation that you will do with the VT Badge. More people have the issues learning 2RF that is a Baleful specific, because you cannot perform the RF the same way because you go Magnum Badge, not Holy Fire Badge, making it first of all slower. Like, your RF on Holy Fire is faster than the RF on any other badge. Basically, the Holy Fire and the VT badge have the same properties of speed casting. If you learn the timings for the Holy Fire badge, you will have no problems transferring all that knowledge, all that muscle memory into the higher tier stuff, improving your DPS overall, not needing to spend hours and hours on dummies to relearn your character, to relearn timings, to improve your own DPS by dishing out more spells within a specific time frame. Now, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and as usual, have fun and don't die.